Hi, I'm Brian Moran, founder of Government CIO. Welcome to Government CIO Magazine.
Hello, and welcome to Government CIO Magazine. Today we are sitting down with the Chief Information Officer at the Department of Commerce, Dr. Simone Zickman.
As the Department of Commerce CIO, I don't have the primary responsibility for most of the department's spending. So my main role in terms of fostering innovation is really in getting all of the CIOs of the various Department of Commerce bureaus together to identify priorities for the department, more department-wide priorities than at the bureau level, having bureaus exchange information about what they're doing that's innovative within their organizations that other parts of the department may be interested in taking on, sharing of best practices, and also creating a collaborative environment where in some cases they may be able to share innovations across organizations, provide services to one another, those types of things.
Okay.
The main things that we're looking at from a cost savings perspective, things that might affect the budgets, are things like strategic sourcing, trying to pool the department's purchasing power, buying in larger quantities so that we can be spending less on the types of IT spending that we're already doing. We're also looking at opportunities for standardization, identification of standard tools that can be used within organizations and to greater opportunity department-wide. That kind of standardization allows, again, the better purchasing power for better pricing, and also the ability for us to more readily share information across organizations. We've embraced it quite emphatically. I would say right now we are looking at several different opportunities, but we've recently established a strategic sourcing organization within our acquisitions function here at the department. And the first sets of opportunities that we're already in the middle of starting to pursue are strategic sourcing of PC purchasing. We're replacing an unfortunately large number of PC purchasing contracts across the department with a single contract that will enable purchasing by all of the department's bureaus. And we're looking at similar strategies using the GSA government-wide contracts for printers and print management services, and also leveraging their plans to do something similar in the area of wireless devices and wireless plans. We're also, with a little bit farther behind, but also moving down the road of doing strategic sourcing for potentially other types of hardware and certain classes of software as well. I think there are a whole host of innovations that are coming out primarily out of the consumer-oriented part of the private sector. Those are things like mobile devices, Android phones, iPads, and those types of things. So the real innovation, I think, is already happening. The challenge to the government is how do we start to embrace and incorporate these innovations into our infrastructure? How do we understand how they can better support our mission? How do we make it possible for us to meet the demand for these types of technologies by the people who work for the department? And of course, how do we do that in a secure sort of way? In addition to the mobile devices, I think there are also capabilities that are allowing the department to explore different ways of supporting teleworkers. Things like virtual desktop infrastructure is a class of innovation technologies that are also enabling a more mobile workforce. I think there are so many different approaches to social media right now. I don't think there are any one or two small numbers of. Sorry, let me try that again.
Yeah.
I think there are enough different social media technologies that it would be hard to pick a small set that are really making uniquely a difference. But I think as a collection of technologies, they're all very important. And what it comes down to for us is understanding how we can use these technologies to interact with the outside world better. How do we communicate with our constituencies? How do we interact with the public better? And that means how do we get to them the information that they want in new kinds of ways? Maybe they don't want to be picking up the phone. They want to go online and get answers to their information? How do we hear from them? Maybe in the past, the department didn't have easy mechanisms for the public to voice its views and have feedback into what we do. And then similarly for the business community, how do we communicate to the business community? How do we hear back from the business community? All of these new types of technologies, I think, are creating new mechanisms for citizen engagement and for engaging with the private sector that are relatively novel. And in some ways, the government is a little bit behind in the use of these types of technologies. I think from a technology perspective, there's always this cat and mouse game. The adversaries are getting more sophisticated, the technologies become more sophisticated, and it's just an ongoing race to keep up. In particular, though, I think some of the general trends that are making a difference these days are things like automation, the ability to have automated monitoring and automated implementation of security controls, providing capabilities to streamline, reduce the cost of security, or accelerate the implementation of security. That's clearly something that's very important for the government. These types of automation, when you couple them with some of the standardization approaches that are going on, and in the context of the government, things like the SCAP standards that NIST developed for security tools are allowing us not only to automate the implementation of security, but also improve the flow of security-related information, automate reporting, do aggregation, and better understand from a big picture perspective what the security posture for a large organization looks like. From a priorities perspective, the priority within my organization right now is we have a couple of things that we're looking at doing, but we're not looking for new innovations. We really would like to be able to implement some of the things that we've already identified as priorities and really execute on the things that we're really focused on. So those are things like at the department level, we are looking at implementation of department-wide security capabilities and department-wide continuous monitoring. We have the strategic sourcing initiatives at the department level where we're trying to consolidate the department's IT spending on certain commodity products to single or small number of contracts at the department level. We're looking at a little bit of virtualization implementation, but really we're focused on execution of our current vision and plans more than we are looking for additional innovations. I think one of the hopefully very influential capabilities that will be launched in January is Business USA. Business USA was announced under a presidential memorandum just a few weeks ago and is currently an implementation effort that's being coordinated. It's jointly led by the Department of Commerce and the Small Business Administration with involvement from GSA, significant involvement from the White House, several offices there, and several other agencies as well. The idea behind Business USA is to create a portal which is serving as a one-stop shop for the business community, and particularly small businesses and exporters, to be able to get information about a whole host of different types of government services, capabilities, and information that would better enable them to do what it is that they do: create new products, create jobs, grow their businesses. And currently the status quo is that businesses have to navigate a complex set of functions across disparate agencies or across different organizations within an agency. And the vision behind Business USA is to create a single portal for the business community to be able to have access to all of this information. Right now it's still under development, but as I mentioned, we're planning on launching it in January and looking forward to seeing what happens.